In this video, I'm going to show you how to order some tests, and we'll start with some simple blood tests. For the purposes of this demonstration, I've created a list which are vascular patients on ward 23, of which there happen to only be one. I double click on the name in the list, then the patient record will open. Now, I've not actually seen this patient yet, so he hasn't had a VTE assessment, but it's less than 6 hours since he was admitted, so I can simply say OK and come back to that later. Now, there are several places in which you could order tests, but the overall procedure is the same. We're going to start by looking for, on the left hand side, requests and care plans, and tick add. Now, I can see things that have automatically been requested for this patient by virtue of the fact it's an adult admission. But by clicking on add, I can place some new orders. So, I would like a full blood count. If I search for FBC, that's a full blood count. Now, behind this small request window, a list of requests will be building up, and they will need some further details indicated by these yellow fields completing. But it's most efficient if I request all the orders I want at the same time. So let's suppose I also want a U&E. A CRP, and perhaps a group and save. Now, for the time being, that's all I want to order, so I can click done. This screen then shows me all the things that I have in progress here. This icon tells me that's an inpatient, and this blue cross tells me that the order's details are not complete. Now, since these are all blood tests, it's quite likely they share some mandatory fields. So by pressing the control key, I can highlight all of these tests. We look at the bottom of the screen, we can see there are 13 missing details. And to make it a bit easier, I'm just going to make this bottom box a little bit bigger. So the clinical details. This patient has abdominal pain. There's an emergency admission, so we're going to collect them now. A shortcut for the date is to type T for today, N for now. Want a contact number. Now you'll see, although I've only filled in 4 or 5 fields, we're now down to only 2 missing details. And if you look at the top screen, it's only the group and save that now has missing details. So if I just highlight that one, we can see what the patient needs. And as you'd expect, there are some transfusion related questions. Once these are filled in, I have no missing details and I'm able to sign the order. It's reminding me that I should let the lab know that these are urgent. It's giving me a reminder for each test, unfortunately. Now, in the order history, if we refresh, we can see these orders have been placed with the lab. And if I make this column here a little bit bigger, you can see that the specimens are awaiting collection. Now, if I'm going to actually collect these bloods, I would go to the toolbar at the top and select Specimen Collection. For inpatients, I'll be prompted to scan the barcode on the patient's wristband. But if, for example, I'm in A&E or in the outpatient clinic and the patient's not using a wristband, I can simply select that I'm unable to scan the barcode. Now we can see everything that's waiting to be collected, exactly what bottles I need to take and how much blood needs to be in each one. Up here, I can print the labels for the bottles, and I can print the requisition slips that need to go with the bottles to the lab. Once I've collected the specimen, you'll see there's a little drop down menu here. I can say collected. When I've collected them all, I can sign. And now we can see that this patient has no further specimen orders needing collection. I can close this window. If I refresh, you will now see that the bloods are collected. So anyone who is looking at this patient's notes, wanting to see the progress of the bloods, can see that they've been ordered and that the specimens have been collected. Now if we go back to that request and care plan add window again, you'll notice there are some trust favourite folders set up here already. One of them, Pathology Common Tests, includes the things we've just ordered. You may find this a quicker way to order what you would like. You also have the ability to set up favourites of your own. So for example, if I was to select a full blood count, by right-clicking on the order before I complete it, I can then say add to my favourites. I can give it a name. Call it whatever you like. Select it, OK. I'm going to remove that order and now try and reorder. This time, if I went to my favourites, I can select full blood count. Hopefully you can see that you can build up a range of personal favourite folders, and this will be a much quicker way for you to order. Now you'll remember I said there were several ways to order. I've just shown you add in request and care plans. Alternatives are quick orders from this view, so the grey request section, type what you're looking for here, select. You'll see in this green box here, that means I have one order for signature. Just as before, I'll keep on ordering until I've placed all my orders, and then sign them off together. And you'll notice that that favourites folder that we just created is there with my full blood count. There are these trust favourite folders, which you may find useful. And you can also have shared favourites. This is where you've set up some personal favourites and then shared it, perhaps with other members of your team or department. So that's quick orders. If we go back to the patient overview, you'll see within this view, in the right-hand column, we have new requests. I can order here. And again, orders build up this window here. And I can also order from within the documentation workflow. So for example, here I'm going to clock my patient. I can either scroll down the right hand side until I get to the orders section, or here I can pick the order section directly and I can make orders here. But whichever method you use, they're all behind the scenes formatting a list of orders that are going to need your signature and further details. Clicking on the right will allow you to sign the orders and then complete the missing details as we did before.